Good afternoon, Leanne Foster from Trafalgar Castle. Thank you for joining me on Lorna Learns with the Whitby Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to learn a little bit more about the Trafalgar Castle School and the history of the school, please.
Wonderful, Lorna. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm always excited to be able to talk about the castle. So, as a Whitby resident, you know that Trafalgar Castle School is actually situated in what was Trafalgar Castle, the building. And Trafalgar Castle was built between 1859 and 1862 by the sheriff of Ontario County. So this is even before Canada was Canada. This is in Upper Canada. And the sheriff, Nelson Gilbert Reynolds, wanted to have a gracious, stately home. We understand he liked to live large. He did have 2 wives and 24 children, so he probably needed to live large. But he built this castle as his primary residence in Whitby. Reynolds was a bit of a bon vivant. We understand he liked to gamble, he liked a bit of drink, and although he built the castle for $60,000 back in the early 1860s, a lot of money, a lot of materials were brought over from England. He built it for $60,000 in 1874. He sold the castle for $30,000 to the Methodist Church of Canada. And the Methodist Church of Canada took the beautiful Trafalgar Castle building and it became the Ontario Ladies College. And it has remained that same institution since 1874. But in 1979, the name was changed from Ontario Ladies College to Trafalgar Castle School. And we have been that same institution educating girls and young women for going on 150 years now. We're at 148 years right now.
Wow, I can't wait for the 150 celebration.
I know you'll definitely be invited, that's for sure.
Thank you. I look forward to that. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Trafalgar difference and the value added?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are an all-girls school. We've been educating girls and young women for a long time, and we feel very committed to that. We are also a day and boarding school. So we have boarders from across Canada and around the world. And that, including our day student population, creates a wonderfully diverse community of learners. We really are representative of Durham region around us, and that is one of the things that we love about our school, is that we truly are diverse. We are small. We like to say we are small by design and all girls with a purpose. And what I mean by that is we have experienced growth in our enrollment over the last couple of years, particularly since COVID, but we're committed to remaining a small school because we think that being able to provide that individualized support, really getting to know every girl and every girl's family closely, is part of what makes our school community so warm and welcoming and supportive. We also feel really committed to giving back to our community in Whitby and the Durham region. It is incredibly important to us that we are part of the Whitby community. And so that's why you will, we hope, proudly see Trafalgar giving back and sponsoring sports teams and events in Whitby and around Durham as well. It's part of our ethos of giving back.
Yes, you definitely give back to the community. We see you everywhere, and it's greatly appreciated by the community. There is a lot of research around the value of an all-girls education. Can you tell us more about the benefits of an all-girls education, please?
Sure, absolutely. I think it's really important to know that the research around all girls education is strong. It's been around for a long time. What we see in our classrooms and hallways, but what we also know from the research, is that compared to their peers who are in co-ed settings, girls in all girls settings, first of all, have much higher confidence levels around math and science. And that is really important. The other thing that I think is important, and all we have to do is to think back to our own school days, certainly my co-ed school days, remembering what it's like, particularly in that middle school and that senior school classroom, where you're beginning to feel a little bit tentative around the boys. You're not sure how much you want to put yourself out there. But we know that when girls are in an all-girls setting, 87% of girls school graduates report that they feel that their opinions in the classroom are heard and respected, and that their voice is heard. And that's compared to only 58% of girls who are in a co-ed setting. So we know that our girls are getting more practice at learning to speak up. And if we think of that going ahead to when they're in the workplaces, we know that we are training them to develop that leadership. We also know that girls' school graduates are more likely to be civically engaged, more likely to be participating in their communities than their co-ed school counterparts. And we also know that they're more likely to take leadership opportunities in their schools and later on at university. So we see a lot, and it really just makes common sense when you think about it. When you're in a setting where every single leader of a school club is a girl or young woman, when the president of the student council is a girl, a young woman, that type of role modeling that you see simply has an impact on you, and you believe that you are capable of doing those things when you go on. Some people say that they worry our girls are not well prepared for the co-ed settings at universities, but it's actually quite the opposite. Because our students are becoming more confident in themselves as learners, more confident in their opinions, more able and used to putting their opinions forward, they're actually better prepared for those co-ed settings. And also, as a girls' school, we do make sure that our students have opportunities to connect with other schools, and we have very close relationships with other boys' schools in the GTA, so that we are getting together for, yes, there are dances, but also for creative arts night, coffee evenings. We're currently doing an online shared collaborative grade 11 gender studies course with Royal St. George's College in Toronto. So we are getting opportunities to connect with boys and young men, and so we feel our girls have the best of both worlds.
It sounds like you're giving them experiences, full-rounded experiences, to walk away from the school as graduates with valuable confidence and leadership confidence, I guess, so they can step into the roles that they've been trained for through the school. So wow, that's wonderful. I'm really sure our members will love to hear the valuable information that came out of this little Lorna Learns episode. So
I appreciate that.
thank you so very much for joining me on Lorna Learns. The Whitby Chamber of Commerce really appreciates all the support that you give us, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
You too, Lorna. Lovely to see you.
Likewise.